Most people searching for stay-at-home work are optimizing for the wrong financial goal. They're looking for income replacement, not income architecture. This is the $50,000 trap. You think you need to find remote work that pays what your office job paid. You search for positions labeled remote, flexible, work from home. You apply to customer service roles, virtual assistant gigs, data entry contracts. You're building lateral income, not compounding income. Lateral income trades your time for money in a different location. The structure is identical. You still have a boss. You still have a schedule. You still have a cap. The trap isn't the job itself. It's the financial model you're accepting without question. Traditional employment operates on a scarcity exchange. Your hours for their payment. When the hours stop, the payment stops. There is no residual value. There is no asset formation. Remote work doesn't change this. It relocates it. The $50,000 figure is symbolic. It represents whatever income level you believe you must match to justify leaving traditional work. It becomes the threshold, the benchmark, the proof of legitimacy, and it locks you into replicating the exact economic structure you are trying to escape. Notice what happens when you anchor to that number. You filter opportunities through a single lens. Will this pay $50,000? If not, you dismiss it. You don't evaluate leverage. You don't assess scalability. You don't consider asset potential. You evaluate jobs, not economic systems. This is the perceptual error. You're using employment logic to evaluate entrepreneurial opportunity. The frameworks are incompatible. Employment rewards consistency. Entrepreneurship rewards asymmetry. Employment pays you for showing up. Entrepreneurship pays you for building systems that work without you. The trap deepens when you find a remote job that does pay $50,000. You think you've solved the problem. You're home, you're flexible, you're earning, but you've traded commute time for availability creep. Meetings still fragment your day. Deadlines still dictate your schedule. Your income is still capped by hourly constraints. You haven't built economic sovereignty. You've built geographic flexibility inside the same financial cage. The alternative isn't to reject remote work entirely. It's to stop treating it as the end goal. Remote work can function as bridge income. It can fund the transition. It can provide stability while you build something else underneath, but it cannot be the architecture. Real economic shift requires a different model. You need income that decouples from your time, income that compounds, income that builds equity in a system you own. This means moving from labor to leverage. Leverage in this context means creating once and earning repeatedly. It means building assets that generate value independent of your active participation. Digital products, recorded courses, template systems, membership models, affiliate ecosystems, content libraries. These are not passive income fantasies. They are structural economic tools. The difference is repeatability. You build it once, you sell it multiple times. The marginal cost of the next sale approaches zero. This is how you break the time for money ceiling. But most beginners resist this path because it doesn't offer immediate income replacement. It requires building before earning. It requires creation before compensation. And when you're conditioned to expect payment every 2 weeks, delayed income feels like risk. So you choose the $50,000 remote job. It feels safer. It feels legitimate. It feels like progress. But it's a lateral move disguised as forward motion. The trap isn't just financial. It's cognitive. You're optimizing for certainty in a system that requires experimentation. You're seeking validation from structures that don't recognize your model. You're measuring success with metrics designed for a different economy. Remote job listings are written in employment language. They require resumes. They demand experience. They assess you against predefined criteria. This trains you to position yourself as a candidate, not a creator. And the longer you operate in that frame, the harder it becomes to see the alternative. Observe the language patterns in stay-at-home job searches. Hiring now, no experience necessary, earn up to, flexible schedule. These phrases signal employment structure. Immediate start, low barrier, capped upside. Time-based payment. None of this is inherently bad, but it is limiting. The economic ceiling is built into the offer. You know the maximum before you begin. There is no compounding mechanism, no equity formation, no ownership transfer. You're renting your time to someone else's system. The recalibration isn't to avoid remote work. It's to stop seeing it as the solution. Use it as fuel, not foundation. If you need immediate income, take the remote role. But allocate a percentage of your time to building parallel systems. Systems you own. Systems that scale independently. This is dual-track economics. Track 1, bridge income. Pays the bills, funds the transition. Provides stability. Track 2, asset creation. Builds equity. Compounds over time. Generates residual value. Most people only build track 1. They replace office work with homework and call it transformation. But the financial structure remains unchanged. Track 2 is where sovereignty lives. It's where you stop trading time for money and start building systems that work while you're not. This doesn't require a business degree. It doesn't require venture capital. It doesn't require a revolutionary idea. It requires a shift in how you define income. Income isn't just what you earn this month. It's what you own that continues to earn. Digital assets operate on this principle. A course you record once can sell for years. A template you design once can be purchased indefinitely. A membership you build once can generate recurring revenue. The labor is front-loaded. The returns are distributed. This is the inverse of employment logic. Employment spreads labor across time and pays you incrementally. Asset creation concentrates labor up front and pays you repeatedly. The $50,000 trap keeps you in the first model. It convinces you that replacing your salary is the goal, that matching your previous income is success. But salary replacement is just financial stasis. It's maintaining the same economic position in a different environment. Real transformation requires building a different income structure entirely, not higher income, different income, income that isn't tied to your hours, income that doesn't stop when you stop, income that increases as the system matures. This is compounding architecture, and it's invisible to anyone searching for a stay-at-home jobs using employment metrics. The platforms advertising remote work aren't designed to show you this path. They're designed to connect employers with workers. They facilitate labor transactions, not asset creation. So if you only search there, you only see labor opportunities. The alternative requires a different search pattern. You're not looking for jobs, you're looking for economic models. What systems exist that reward creation over participation? What platforms allow you to build once and earn repeatedly? What structures let you own the output instead of renting your input? These questions lead to different answers, answers that don't appear on job boards. Some creators solve this by starting with a simple infrastructure setup. A dedicated workspace organizer, a microphone for clear audio recording, a planner designed for business workflows. These aren't luxuries, they're economic tools. One example of a small business productivity system is linked in the description. The recalibration isn't about rejecting remote work. It's about rejecting the idea that remote work is the destination. It's a vehicle, not a home. Use it to fund your transition. Use it to build stability. Use it to cover your baseline needs, but don't mistake it for economic architecture. Architecture requires ownership. It requires systems that scale without you. It requires assets that compound. The $50,000 trap is seductive because it offers immediate validation. You can point to a number. You can say you're earning. You can prove you're contributing. But contribution isn't the same as ownership. And ownership is what builds long-term security. The mothers who break free from this trap don't do it by finding better remote jobs. They do it by building systems underneath their jobs. Systems that grow quietly while they're working, systems that eventually replace the need for the job entirely. This is the invisible shift, from income replacement to income architecture, from labor to leverage, from renting your time to owning your output. The search for a stay-at-home work isn't wrong, but the framework guiding that search often is. If you're optimizing for salary replacement, you're optimizing for stasis. If you're optimizing for system creation, you're optimizing for sovereignty. The $50,000 trap closes when you stop asking, what job can I do from home? And start asking, what system can I build that works without me? That's the question that changes everything. Disclaimer: this content is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not financial, legal, or professional advice. All decisions regarding income strategies, business models, and financial planning are your responsibility. The creator of this content may earn a commission from affiliate links included in the description. Always conduct your own research and consult with a qualified professional before making financial decisions.